wearing clothes. That's art. Not wearing clothes. Still art. Botticelli was desperate to paint the human body, but the church had eyes everywhere. He had to be clever to get around their rules. Then he discovered a loophole. Venus was a pagan goddess. Perfect! It was like a thief running into an even bigger outlaw. And so, the birth of Venus burst onto the scene. When Christians all over Europe saw it, they were stunned. You mean you can do this? Hey, man, Botticelli really was a genius. From that moment on, in Renaissance painting, if a woman was completely nude, she was automatically called Venus. And soon, everyone in Italy learned to look at Venus with, let's just say, a critical eye. Botticelli had a classmate you definitely know, Leonardo da Vinci. The ultimate Renaissance man painter, scientist, engineer, botanist, zoologist. The original multi-hyphenate. He wasn't just painting the Mona Lisa. He was sketching helicopters, machine guns, robots, tanks, solar concentrators, even calculators. Then there was another classmate, Perugino. Not nearly as famous, but his student more than made up for it, Raphael. Raphael was the golden boy of the Renaissance, beloved by the Pope, envied by his rivals. His masterpiece, The School of Athens, he borrowed Leonardo's composition and Michelangelo's technique. Even so, they couldn't hide their smirks while praising him. Why? Because Raphael slipped portraits of Leonardo, Michelangelo, his own rumored lovers, and even the Pope's son right into the fresco. Art isn't just about skill. It's about connections, favors, and knowing how to play the game. Of course, Raphael indulged too much in pleasure, died young. But even years later, some artists gritted their teeth whenever his name came up. One of them, Michelangelo. He respected almost no one, not even Leonardo. But hey, he had the right to brag. His sculptures, Pietà, David, Moses, were so breathtaking that every other sculptor looked like an amateur. Meanwhile, in Venice, there was a rebel, Titian. His art was bold, but never vulgar. His subject matter totally depended on the client's wallet. He could turn your wife into Venus, just like Botticelli did. He was all about the money, the ultimate moneymaker. When the Pope invited him to do some lofty, serious art, Titian flat out refused. Too little money, too much hassle. Basically, he told the Pope, don't pay me with status. I'm a professional painter. If anyone can sell a dream, it's me. But I only work for cash. In Venice, clients were everything, and Venice was rich. As Italy's wealthiest port, the city was full of merchants and sailors who wanted to look cultured. Hanging a painting in your living room made you look refined, even if you had no clue who Aristotle was. So, the Venetian painters happily catered to their customers. Want your mistress to look prettier? And make money. Want something a little risque? And more money. They didn't care about morality, only commissions. Clothed art, nude art, scientific art, seductive, still art. Of course, sometimes this backfired. Take Veronese, Titian's student. He painted a version of the Last Supper, except it looked like a Venetian feast. Grand architecture, dazzling decoration, dogs running around, even clowns at the table. If it weren't for the glowing halo over Jesus, you'd think it was just some rich guy's wedding banquet. The church hauled Veronese into court. Sir, is this supposed to be the sacred Last Supper? His answer? Well, I can always change the title. What a legend! So, while the Florentine and Roman masters stirred the world with genius, drama, and rivalry, in Venice, art was a business. Botticelli hacked the system with Venus. Da Vinci was the original /career superstar. Raphael turned networking into masterpieces. Michelangelo sculpted like a god. And Titian, he turned art into money. Because in the Renaissance, art wasn't just about beauty. It was about power, about money, about politics. And yes, about naked people. Thanks for hanging out. And remember, history was never boring, it just needed better storytelling. This is Snarky Canvas, dropping fresh videos every weekend.